Hey guys, it's Kaylee and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. In today's video, we're going to be talking about last week's sales. I'm going to share with you how I made money by going to thrift stores, picking up items for cheap, and flipping them online on sites like eBay and Poshmark. Let's jump into last week's sales. Okay guys, so all of these sales are going to be from December 27th through January 2nd, which would be right after Christmas, moving into the new year. My sales did drop. I think it was due to the holiday and people, doing stuff around New Year's Eve and not really being online shopping. But I'm hopeful that next week people will be spending their Christmas money and probably buying a lot of athletic wear for their New Year's resolutions. So in total last week, I sold just 48 items for a gross sales total of $1,671.52, making my average sale price $34.82. My total cost of goods for everything that I sold last week was $235.70. On eBay, I sold 32 items, and on Poshmark, I sold just 15. I did have one sale on Mercari, which I will show you guys here in just a moment. Gross sales on eBay was a little over $1,200, and on Poshmark, I was just under $400. On Mercari, I only made $35. You can see a big difference in the average sale price of eBay, which was almost $39 average sale price, versus Poshmark, which was just over $26. I find that to be pretty typical between eBay and Poshmark. Poshmark is usually where I sell more of my less expensive items. However, I am really working hard to be between 30 and 40 on all platforms. So next, let's jump into some highlighted sales. I'm going to show you a few items that sold on each platform, ones that I thought were really good ones to look out for, and then just some you could probably come across pretty often that have a really good sell-through rate. So I will start with that one Mercari sale just to show you guys what's selling for me on there. And I just recently started having my helper cross-post all of my items over onto Mercari, so slowly but surely we'll get all of those items over there. If you're new to my channel, all my items are posted on eBay and Poshmark, and then I'm slowly moving them onto other platforms as well. So on Mercari, I sold this American Eagle women's sweater, and American Eagle seems to be a really great brand to sell on Mercari. It's a very trendy brand, and I find that Mercari's best to sell those like trendy mall brand type things. So this was the price that I got for the item, and I did include free shipping. I think free shipping on Mercari is necessary to make sales. So I'll probably spend about $5 max shipping this item. So all in all, I would say the total price I got for the item itself was about $30, which is really great for an American Eagle sweater. Jumping onto eBay, this was probably my favorite sale of this week. This is by the brand Andrew Mark. I've talked about this a couple times, but this brand performs very well for me, and it used to be something that I passed on. I don't pick up everything in this brand, but the leather coats and jackets are really, really good, solid sellers. This one I looked at the thrift store because I was walking through feeling the items, and this one stuck out to me as very high quality, and so I looked into it. This is a lamb fur leather jacket. It's got shearling lining, and regardless of brand, those materials are really high quality and really popular right now, and you'll see that I actually put those into my title. So I listed high on this. The comps that I did see for these types of items in this brand were pretty high. They were usually between $100 and $200, so I priced mine high and allowed for offers. I did pay up for this item. I paid $19 for this, $18.99. Really quickly, I got an offer for $125. I was going to counter, but that is a great return on my investment, and I didn't want to counter or decline that offer and then have to wait. I'm trying to move items quickly. This was a pretty bulky item, so I went ahead and accepted the $125 offer on this item. Next is a Woolrich men's vintage coat. I do really well with vintage coats that have plaid or flannel or wool lining, and Woolrich is a pretty good brand to be on the lookout for. Here is the tag And when you see this, typically that means it is an older style. So this had a wool thick lining and in general was just a really great well-made coat. I only paid $6 for this, and this sold via the global shipping program. It sold for full price plus shipping. If you're ever wondering, you can see here if I'm charging shipping or not. So this did sell for full price. Next is this Lululemon women's form or forme jacket in dune white. You can barely tell, but it's got a light gingham plaid. If you're not familiar with Lululemon, if you're just getting into reselling and you haven't heard of this brand, most of the time the tag is ripped out, so you're going to want to look for this little logo. Somewhere on the back, lower left of the item is typically where these are placed. And then if you also don't see a tag on the inside indicating the size, they've got little size dots which are hidden in places like pockets, right inside the cuff, or sometimes if there is a built-in bra to a top, it'll be like in the bra insert where you put the pads. This is a great brand to look for, and a lot of people skip on these items because they don't see a tag. So you really got to look for those key indicators that it is Lululemon. So I was able to find this jacket style name by doing a quick search on Google for, I think I just looked up like white peach plaid jackets in Lululemon, and after some digging I did find that it was called the Form Jacket in Dune. So I had this one listed for $44.99 and it sold on an offer for $40.49. Next is this North Face women's hoodie. I like picking up North Face, but I'm very careful about what I picked up. I just really liked the graphic on this one, and based on the tag I could tell that this was a newer style. I had this one listed for $29.99 and it sold for $25. Next is this Chico's women's duster cardigan. I am slowing down on what I pick up in Chico's, but I did like the Aztec Western / Nordic print on this cardigan. The fact that it was duster helped to sell it. Longer lengths are definitely more modern now, and then it had the collar fur, which I think for this brand does add value. I had this one listed for $34.99 and it sold for my full asking price. These boots I picked up at a consignment shop. I did pay up for them, and Bedstew is a great brand to be on the lookout for. They're really high quality and they tend to have distressed looking shoes. So if you come across them and they look distressed, they're probably meant to be that way, but they sell for high amounts. So this one I had listed for $115 and it did sell for my full asking price. And just to note, one of these harnesses, the bottom of it was broken. So I did put that here on the condition. That way before they clicked in the listing, they could see it, and it still sold at my full asking price. Next is the Saks Fifth Avenue men's vintage cashmere sweater. I think retail Saks Fifth Avenue, does resell for a lot, but the resale value is not usually there. So I don't usually pick up this brand unless it is in really great materials. In this case, it was vintage, so harder to find, and it was 100% cashmere. Had this one listed at $34.99 and it did sell at my full asking price. Skyer is a great brand to pick up. They sell a lot of wool pieces, and you'll be able to tell that it's Skyer because it usually has Fair Isle and Nordic print. And pretty typical of them are these ornate looking clasps which hold the sweaters together. So I can usually tell that it is Skyer when I come across these key features. As always with this material, you want to check for holes because these type of wool pieces can have holes, and you want to check it all over really carefully to make sure they do not have holes. Had this one listed for $34.97 and it did sell at my full asking price. Next is this Ralph Lauren women's cardigan. I picked this one up because it had very Western vibes. Not just the print alone, but it had these little tie buttons, which if you have ever watched my channel or looked up comps for Ralph Lauren pieces, you'll see that the Western pieces do the best in this brand. Some of them are worth a lot of money. So if you come across Ralph Lauren and Western looking things, I'd say definitely worth picking up. This one also sold on an international sale through the global shipping program. I had it listed for $39.87 and it sold at my full asking price. This is a brand I knew about but I've never come across, and when I went to the thrift store I found 3 of these pieces in the same section. I actually found the jacket in a jacket section, and then that made me go to the scrubs and look for to see if the same owner might have donated, and I was right. So that's a good sourcing strategy. If you come across a good brand, check the rest of the store for that brand, because usually you'll find multiple pieces. So Figs is a scrubs brand. They sell really high quality scrubs, and you can sell them for a decent amount of money. Not a lot, but they do have a really great sell-through rate, and so these pieces have sold really quickly for me. This was just a scrubs top, and I had it listed for $29.87. I sent out watchers, and it sold for $26.88. It is the brand Roar. It is a men's shirt, and they usually sell really like graphic, bedazzled kind of shirts. The button-ups do pretty well. Again, another one of those pieces that don't sell for a ton, but they have a really good sell-through rate. So I have this one listed for $29.91, and it did sell at my full price. Torrid is another great brand to look for. Again, not a super high priced item, however, has a really good sell-through rate. And I like putting nice, trendy, plus size pieces in my closet. I think it brings some other buyers to my closet, and I want to be really size inclusive. Torrid always pulls through for me. So this was a size 4, which is equivalent to a 4X. Had this listed for $24.87. and it sold at my full asking price. Again, this is a modern, longer length cardigan. Finishing up with some Poshmark sales, I sold this bundle of 2 American Eagle pieces. I sold the total bundle for $45. They were just a pair of American Eagle shorts and an American Eagle kimono. With bundles, I'm a lot more willing to give a discount if I'm moving a higher volume amount of items. So in the cases of bundles, I usually get better discounts because I'm happy to move so many items at once. So she got these for about $22.50 each. Here's another Figs piece. This is that jacket I was talking about that I came across in the actual jackets section, and then I went to search for other Figs pieces in the scrubs. So these are all the technical collection, which is a higher, more higher quality, I would imagine, than the just regular Figs scrubs brand. So I was able to ask a little bit more for some of these pieces. The jacket is obviously a more substantial piece, so it sold for higher, and this one sold for $45. This is a Lucky Brand men's waffle knit cardigan. I don't pick up a lot of Lucky Brand, but when I do, it's a special piece, and men's cardigans sell really well for me, especially when they are in well-known brands like Lucky Brand. And then in general, waffle knit seems to be pretty trendy for this time of the year. So this one sold for $30. This is AG by Adriana Goldschmied. This is a men's jean, and they're called the Protege Straight. I always pick up this style in this brand because it flips usually for about $35 for me, and it's always right on the inside of the waistband. These sold for $36. I told you I was starting to pick up kids pieces, and basically what I'm doing is walking through really quickly, looking for quality pieces, looking them up, and then picking them up if they're good enough. What I found with kids items is that usually the same brands that I'm looking for in adults is the same thing I'm looking for in kids. So this is just a North Face toddler purple fleece jacket. It sold pretty quickly for $30. And the great thing about kids pieces is I don't have to hang them up. I can just throw them on a table and using PhotoFuse create a good stock image. This is a recent pickup. This is by Zara, and it is an oversized sweater vest. I don't usually like picking up sweater vests or sleeveless tops, but I was able to find good comps on this, and so it seems to be a pretty trendy item. This is a crew, which is a color, and a crew is really popular right now. A lot of people would put like off-white ivory or cream in this, but if you have an ecru piece, look it up, put ecru in your listings, and you'd be surprised at how quickly it'll sell. So this one sold for $30. And last item I wanted to show you was this belt. A lot of people skip on belts, but if you've got a good, decent brand and a unique style, right now I'm finding Bohemian and Western do really well, you can make some good money, almost as much as clothing. So this one sold for $26, and it was a distressed leather belt with some floral engraving on the buckle, and you can see it is heavily used, and it still sold for $26 because it was fossil. Alright guys, so that is the end of what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. As always, thank you guys so much for being here, and I will see you in the next video.